Black Hole Sun by Spark.
Princess Celestia? Princess Celestia!
Celestia looked up from her book to find Princess Cadence, the newest alicorn. What delight to even think that thought, hovering uncertainly in the door of her study.
Call me Celestia, or just Tia if you like. We are family now,
said Celestia with a warm smile. Cadence ducked her head just a bit, shyly. She was still in that awkward, late adolescent stage, all legs and hooves with uncertainty.
I guess it sounds strange, though, to just say Celestia without a title. You could say Auntie Celestia if you need a title.
Cadence blinked at her, then suddenly smiled, her whole face lighting up with it.
Auntie Celestia, I like that. What brings you here today, Cadence? I had a question, maybe two questions.
Celestia nodded and beckoned to her niece to enter the room. Cadence had been an alicorn for less than a month now. It was hardly surprising that she might have questions.
Come, sit with me,
she said with a gesture toward the second couch in the comfortably appointed room. Cadence took the first offered seat, tucking her hooves up neatly beneath her as she did. Even in this awkward stage, she was more graceful than many ponies. Celestia's smile covered a bittersweetness. Luna had always been more graceful than should be possible too, even in the heat of battle, or drunk half out of her mind. Her lost sister, nearly 1,000 years now, so far away, and yet so very close, had always been elegant and composed. Even the thing she had become had been elegant. The princess banished that thought, as she had 1,000 times before.
So, you have questions about being an alicorn, I assume? Sort of.
Cadence frowned faintly, as if searching for words. She looked up at Celestia, sitting across from her.
Do you see things differently from other ponies?
Celestia's lips quirked.
I suppose I could answer that after my long life. I see things very differently indeed. The years provide a perspective that others lack, and it makes it easier to think of things in the long term, whereas most ponies tend to be very much mirrored in their immediate concerns. But that's not what you meant, is it?
Cadence rolled her eyes just a little, daringly, and shook her head.
No, I mean literally. Do you see things that other ponies can't see? Things that aren't really there, but are real in a way.
I do,
yes. You see the glows around ponies, then?
Celestia chuckled and shook her head.
No, I see the celestial mechanism and the way it interacts with the primal forces of the universe. It is very rare for a pony to impinge upon that. Oh, what is it that you see, niece? I see colors. I suppose it is one way to put it. Auras, glows that surround each and every pony. They can change a little, and it seems to depend on a pony's mood, but mostly stay the same. They have something to do with a pony's essential nature. And feelings? It's hard to put into words. I first noticed that love has a color.
She smiled a little shyly.
It's the same pink as my coat, so it was easy enough to make the connection. The other colors I'm still learning.
Celestia nodded.
You see a pony's base emotional self. I think so. I started seeing the glows when I got my cutie mark, but they've gotten much more clear and obvious since I became an alicorn. Alicorns gain a number of particular talents I've found. Yes, but Auntie Tia, Yes? Cadence paused, marshalling her thoughts. I really don't understand what I'm seeing sometimes. Many ponies surprise me. Their inner natures seem to have little to do with their outer selves. But you... Celestia let out a soft sigh. My aura has a lot of black in it, doesn't it? Cadence blinked. Yes. Why? What is it? Is something wrong? Are you all right? You expected a perfect golden glow of warm, happy sunlight. Celestia smiled a little bit worried. Cadence shifted, folding and unfolding her wings, and glanced away from Celestia. Well, yes. I wish it could be that way. It probably was, once upon a time. Looking back and meeting Celestia's eyes, Cadence said, What happened? Celestia turned away from her and was silent for a time. Cadence said nothing, waiting. She was young yet, but she already knew this lesson. Ponies would talk or wouldn't talk. Prying would accomplish nothing, but given a pony space to speak, it often drew them out. Finally, Celestia said, softly, Family is very important to me. That's why I'm happy to have you call me your aunt. I have been without family for a very long time. But... The single word was careful, gentle. But once, almost 1,000 years ago, I had a sister. I lost her, mostly through my own inattention and carelessness, and such things seldom leave a pony unmarked. You miss her, even after all these years. Yes, Celestia said simply. I'm sorry. Celestia sighed again. So am I. So that's why. It's what began it. The simple fact of the matter is that I am depressed. Losing my sister. I think I've spent the better part of a century barely living, practically comatose with despair. Equestria can go on without me. I discovered I wasn't sure I could go on without my sister. Eventually I did, but it changed something in me. I can never be the carefree mare I once was. Cadence looked baffled. You... depressed? But you don't seem sad. Celestia gave a little shrug. I learned to hide it long ago, and to go on with my life in spite of it. I do what must be done, yet I do little more. Long ago I played such wonderful games, and had such fun. With dear Luna at my side, we could venture anything. Now I do what I must. No more, no less. Oh, Auntie Celestia. Suddenly Celestia was wrapped in a warm, pink embrace of Cadence's wrapped forelegs and wings around her. I'm so sorry. You've been so sad for so long. For a long time, Celestia simply leaned into the embrace, gently wrapping her own forelegs around Cadence in return. After a moment, she folded her wings around Cadence too, hugging the smaller alicorn close. It was good. It was so very, very good to be able to do such a simple thing as hug a pony without reservations again. There was always a space between her and her little ponies, her subjects. She always had to seem strong, to seem without sorrow or fear. But now she could simply rest her head against Cadence's shoulder, however small it might be, and let the tears flow. Thank you. Thank you, she said when she finally leaned back from Cadence's embrace. I just wish I could do more. You have done much, niece. By simply existing, you have done more than you know. I have family again, and she thought then of the movement of 4 stars, of a prophecy, of the centuries of careful preparations that were just now beginning to show the first signs of fruition. And Cadence tilted her head in curiosity. Celestia smiled gently. And if all goes well, I will have more family soon. That thought alone is enough to lift the blackness for a time. When the day comes, perhaps I can finally banish it forever. I hope so, Auntie Tia. So do I, my niece. So do I.
The end. Author's note: sometimes you just need a good hug. And sometimes you need your insane sister returned from banishment and healed from her insanity. You know, little things like that. Alright, that was a great story, everypony. I hope you enjoyed. My next reading should be a clopfic, but we shall wait and see, as I have a lot of stories I want to get to, and I'll have to see which ones I want to get to first. But this story is relatively new and pretty popular right now, so if you enjoyed, please pay the FIM fiction page a visit, give it a like and the author a follow, and thanks for watching. My name is Sky Pegasus Readings. Have a nice night. Sweet dreams, everyone.